this week, the action continues on Thursday Night Lights. The Highlands Owls look for a win against the Sam Houston Hurricanes in a District 28 5A matchup. Get ready for another district battle here on Thursday Night Lights.
It's time for Church's Chicken, Thursday Night Lights, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
Welcome to the Rock Pile, the newly renovated Alamo Stadium near downtown San Antonio, Texas. It's time for Church's Chicken, Thursday Night Lights. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Alamo Stadium. I'm Don Harris, along with my broadcast partner, Chuck Mikatinik. And tonight, a special game because we got Sam Houston taking on Highlands. And Chuck, let's start with the Highlands Owls. Their record says 0-5, but that's a little deceiving.
It really is because, Don, if you look at their record 0-5, they've actually been in every single one of these ball games, and really heartbreak would describe their season. They've actually had the lead in 2 of those games with only a minute left to go in the game. So this is a better 0-5 team than maybe the record would indicate.
Sam Houston, on the other hand, is 4-2, 4-0 in district play. They were picked last in this district, and here they are leading it.
Yeah, you know, and there were a lot of people that thought, well, they only won 2 games last year. What could they possibly do this year? They lose their first 2 games this year, but they are as hot as anybody in San Antonio right now. They've won 4 in a row. They actually cracked our top 10 this week as well.
I know Highlands is going to try to run the football, and that all starts up front with Tristan Zaragoza.
Yeah, you know, Highlands lives and dies with the run, and Coach Bert Lopez really likes the big fellas that he's got up front. And right guard Tristan Zaragoza is really kind of the spirit and the embodiment of what Highlands football is all about. If they're going to win this game tonight, they're going to have to be able to run the ball on Sam.
On the other side, it's Sam Houston's quarterback to take a look at, and that is Ramonte. Don't call me Prime Time Prime.
Well, you can call him Prime Time if you want. I kind of like Optimus Prime, but this young man is really grown up in a hurry. They threw him to the Wolves last year as a sophomore because they've had to. But look at these numbers. I mean, you can really tell how quickly this young man has kind of grown into the position. And if you look at the TDs to interception ratio, I mean, it reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, 13-2. That's no joke.
All right, early in this season, we've enjoyed being in the air conditioning of the press box, but tonight, you want the place to be is outside. Let's go down to the sidelines for our Ewald Kubota game time weather and Alex Garcia. Alex?
Well, we couldn't ask for a better night for football. Temperature is sitting around about 89, but I got a nice breeze coming out of here out of the southeast, I should say. I don't think it's going to affect the passing game much, but boy, it's going to be comfortable tonight to be sitting to watch one exciting game right here at Alamo Stadium. So let's get it going.
All right, when we come back, it's Sam Houston and Highlands. We'll have our Church's Chicken keys to the game right after this.
Tonight's game in high definition is brought to you by Medler's Jewelry on Blanco, just outside Loop 410.
Welcome back to Alamo Stadium. It's Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's Highlands and Sam Houston. It's time for our Church's Chicken keys to the game. Chuck, let's start with the Highlands Owls.
Don, we talked to Coach Lopez earlier this week trying to get some keys to victory. The first thing he said, hey, all we want to do is win, win, win. He went Al Davis on us. And then secondly, these guys want to be strong in the fourth quarter. Highlands has had a hard time closing out games in the final stanza. They want to be different tonight. And then lastly, dominate all phases.
Here's Bert Lopez of the Highlands Owls.
We're excited, you know, it's Thursday Night Lights, and it's a short week once again. We played last Thursday, but, you know, we prepare well, and the kids can, you know, they're really excited, and we're ready to have some fun.
All right, Chuck, let's take a look at the keys for Sam Houston.
Yeah, Gary Green would like his team to limit those turnovers. They had 3 a week ago, so obviously that was a big bugaboo that they would like to eliminate tonight. Secondly, offensive balance. They want to be able to run the ball and throw the ball equally. And then lastly, bring a lot of hats to the party and gang tackle.
Here's the former All-Pro NFL star, Gary Green.
Tell you what, you know, Highlands, boy, they got a lot of good talent, and just our preparation is the same, man. We're trying to eliminate our mistakes. We want to play as well as we can possibly play.
All right, thanks, Coach. When we come back, you see the two combatants right there. It's Highlands. It's Sam Houston. We'll have the national anthem, and we'll get things underway after this.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Law Office of Anna Laura Hesbrook.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We're about ready to get it underway. Highlands, Sam Houston. It's time for our national anthem, brought to you by Dixie Flag. Let's go down to our PA announcer, and that's Bill Evans.
At strong safety, number 26, Joseph Mangacat. At free safety, number 3, Dietrich Franklin. And at free safety, number 80, Chris Hernandez.
All right, they got not quite ready for the national anthem. They do a cool thing with this video board that they spent all the money on. It's $1 million video board. They're using it to the fullest, and they give the kids their own introductions. That's a cool thing. Also a cool thing is our own David Chancellor on the sidelines. He's been doing it. There you see the video board. That's a neat deal for the kids to be introduced on that video board. And it's a neat deal, I'm sure, for David Chancellor to be on television as well. David?
Always. I love it. The bigger the better, I guess. You know, as we have found out over the last few years, guys, these football games on Thursday night are much more than just football. They're all about community, and that has never been more evident than what we saw here on this field moments ago. You know, the Highlands Owls have a saying, once an owl, always an owl. Well, moments ago, the school honored the family and the memory of former Highlands football player Bobby Deckard. Deckard was a San Antonio police officer killed in the line of duty last December at the age of 31. Deckard served 7 years on the force, and many of the things that made him such a special police officer, he learned playing football at Highlands in the late 1990s. The Owls will honor the memory of Bobby Deckard this year by wearing a number 31 decal on their helmet. All of the players know his story. Head coach Bert Lopez made sure of that, and his family says this about Bobby, and it's words to remember, words to cherish, and that is, Bobby was a hero, not by the way he died, but by the way he lived. Guys, back up to you.
Yeah, Dave, that was quite an emotional pregame ceremony that we saw. You saw the family was given his jersey and a plaque, and they were all in tears, and I thought it was a great learning lesson for the players of Highlands who have been a part of this and been able to honor him as well.
Yeah, class all the way around by the whole Highlands community to do that for that family. You could tell how much it meant to them.
All right, now we're ready for our Dixie Flag National Anthem. Let's head down to PA announcer Bill Evans.
Commanding the color guard is Cadet Captain Victoria Gallen. Carrying the Texas flag is Cadet Sergeant Amber Dodson.
And the left guard is Cadet Master Sergeant Manisha Jameson. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps and honor America, as the Sam Houston Band, under the direction of Mr. Bruce Adams,
plays our national anthem.
Nice job by the color guard there and by the Sam Houston band as we're ready to get underway on Thursday Night Lights. Highlands, 1,100 total yards. Sam Houston has over 1,500. And as we said at the outset, Chuck, Highlands is not a bad football team. They've had some heartbreakers. They lost some close games, and they've put up a lot of points.
No, I mean, that's what makes this interesting of a matchup tonight, Don. I mean, because you have a team that's absolutely willing to sell out and do whatever it takes to get a win. And then you've got a really young team like Sam Houston that is starting to see the fruits of the labor. They're starting to enjoy some success after a really tough year where they essentially rolled out a JV team last year, but they had to just because of numbers. So, you know, this is a really interesting battle tonight. I mean, you look at the stats, they're pretty darn even.
Highlands will kick it off, and so the Hurricanes, showing my age there, calling them the Cherokees. I grew up in San Antonio, can you tell? The Hurricanes will get the ball first. Americo Ayala is the kicker for Highlands. He'll kick it off to Jawan Anderson, number 14, and Tavion Jones is the other back, number 5. You're looking at Gary Green right there. Boy, what an unbelievable athlete he was. Played at Sam Houston, All-American at Baylor, first-round draft pick in the NFL, All-Pro, 10-year NFL All-Pro with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he has done an unbelievable job at Sam Houston, not just coaching football, but really changing the lives of young men at that high school.
59 years old. He looks like he's about 39.
And we're underway. And that's Jawan Anderson with it. Jawan Anderson's got some space to the outside. He's still on his feet.
Look out.
Jawan Anderson almost popped it. Sam Houston's going to be in business just short of the 44. As Ramonte Prime and company will take over there. Brandon Sandoval with the tackle. You look at Ramonte Prime. Call him prime time. He's got a little Deion Sanders swagger to him. And we were seeing him throwing the football in pregame. Very electric player. Devin Harris is his go-to guy. He's number 2. But I tell you what, they are fast and fun to watch. Prime hands it to Harris. Stopped in the backfield, and a great job by the Highlands defensive front, Chuck.
And if you're Highlands, that's exactly what you're going to have to do tonight. Sam Houston's got a lot of kids that can run and move the football. They like to move the ball and spread it around, but you're going to have to bring a lot of hats to the party and gang tackle, just like Sam Houston is.
There's the big guys up front for Sam Houston. Campos Young and company. Devin Harris. James Citizens, the fullback. Dwayne Brown is also a game breaker. Also other wide receivers, Trayvon Vaughns and Trenton Jones. Second down at about 9. Prime play action fakes. Got all day to throw it. Now does. Got a man way downfield wide open, but underthrew it. He was looking for Dwayne Brown, and Dwayne Brown hit his man beat by about 10 yards, but that ball hung up in the air. Joseph Mengacat with the defensive coverage. Up front for Highlands on defense, Alejandro Garcia is their big tackle up front and their run stopper. DeMaurier Richardson Jackson's a electric, very athletic corner, and Mengacat right there made the play on the ball on that second down play. It's 3rd and long for Sam Houston, 3rd and about 9, in fact. They run trips left. Prime's running for his life again. He's going to step out of the bounds well short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 5. That was Mengacat again, the same kid who had the coverage on the long play, coming up from his corner position to force Prime out of bounds.
So a really good defensive series to start this ball game for Highlands. They really felt like, regardless of the speed that they're going to be seeing outside, that they've got the athletes to match up tonight, and we'll see as this game goes along.
James Citizen, the fullback, will punt it away. Quindon Boston and Bruce Moody, 2 very explosive return men, especially Quindon Boston. He's their running back, and he's their most game-breaking type of player, but this one instead will go to Moody. Leads them in receiving, and he takes it down short of the 25, and we'll take a break. Highlands defense holds. It's the Owls' chance to have the football. Bert Lopez getting his team ready, and we'll see what they can do right after this. First and 10 for the Highlands Owls. You're looking at Thomas Salome. He's been the backup quarterback for Highlands most of the year. John Cervantes is out this week. Salome keeps, and he is brought down about 3 yards after a gain by Shea Williams. And Shea Williams, Chuck, is a guy that Gary Green loves to talk about.
Well, they've got a lot of good players, but again, Don, they're so young. It's just amazing to know that most of these kids played as sophomores last year. Coach Green had 17 kids, sophomores that is, on this team last year, 14 of them starters.
He thinks Shea Williams will definitely be a college football player, only a junior. Second down and 8 for Salome, who turns and now is going to scramble and has some space. Brought down right there. Looked like it might have been a face mask, but no flag. Here's the offensive starters for the Highlands Owls. Up front, as we talked about, Tristan Zaragoza, the right guard, is the big guy to watch. Quindon Boston is absolutely a game breaker. Bruce Moody is the favorite target when they do throw the ball. Although Salome has only put it up 4 times because he hasn't played a whole heck of a lot. Cervantes, though, threw it 48 times on the year. But this is a running football team all the way with number 2, Quindon Boston, who has run for over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. Salome running for his life, gets to the corner, showing some speed, picks up the first down and gets out of bounds.
A really nice play there. I mean, showing some feel for the position there. I love the pump fake to the right. Got everybody going that way, then tucked it and picked it up.
That's one of our Don Johnson first downs, Don Johnson Realtors. And I tell you what, for a backup, he's looking pretty good. Shea Williams, number 40, the defensive end that we were talking about, Division I prospect, and then they've got tons of speed in the backfield. Darrell Bledsoe, Marquise Keno, a couple of guys to watch tonight. First and 10 for the Owls. Boston's got it's a fake, and we may have an intentional grounding as Salome just switched it to his left hand and threw it out of bounds. Let's listen.
Thomas Salome, pressured by Darius.
Lonnie Johnson's getting more television airtime again. Our third time this year out of 6 games. Does a great job. There's his crew: Albert Lopez, Joe Hernandez, Rudy Martinez, and David Diaz. That's a loss of down, so it'll be second down and 17. Gary Green sends in the signals for his defense. 3 wide receivers to the right. Big left tackle jumps for the Highlands Owls, and he was just a little over anxious. You got second and 17 with an intentional grounding penalty, and then you get that one too, Chuck. That's got to drive Bert Lopez crazy.
Yeah, and you know, this is what I love about doing these games, though. You know, they're going to be some jitters. These kids are playing on live TV. You're going to be on TV for the next 3 hours, and you know, sometimes it's a little bit of a learning process. So I'm sure we'll see these guys tighten things up as the game goes along.
Third and long. Salome fires over Boston's head, incomplete, and so no question here, the Owls are going to have to kick it away. Although Bert Lopez is about halfway out onto the field.
They obviously were trying to set up a screen there, but Sam Houston doing a really good job kind of sniffing it out, and the quarterback did probably the right thing on that one and just threw it out of bounds.
My bad, it's only third down. I thought it was fourth. So now it's 3rd and a mile for Salome. Fires over the middle, has a man, it's caught. A great acrobatic catch. Getting the first down is number 17, the guy we talked about earlier, Bruce Moody. He's their leading receiver with 6 catches for 121 yards. He gets 28 of them right there.
Yeah, really nice job by Salome there, too, staying in the pocket, and then his receiver, too, finding the soft spot in the zone. I mean, that's not easy to do. 3rd and 17, and made it look fairly routine.
It's another Don Johnson first down for the Highlands Owls. Big conversion there. Wow. Our own territory, long way to go. 1st and 10. There's Quindon Boston, and he ran into a brick wall in Sam Houston. And again, it's number 40, Shea Williams.
Well, if you're Highlands, you got to be feeling pretty good about this drive. As you said, Don, I mean, you have a couple of penalties. You're way backed up. Now, all of a sudden, if nothing else, you've tilted field position right here if you hang on to the football. So, this is what Highlands really needs. It needs something to, go their way for once. It's been really rough with this 0-5 start. But again, they've been in some close games. So, if you're not careful, you might get punched in the face if you're Sam Houston. You got to watch your P's and Q's in this one.
All right, 2nd down and 9. Boston tries to break through. Gets about the 45, and he's brought down there by Citizen.
There's some good, tough running between the tackles right there. And looks like both teams bringing their hard hats tonight. We've already seen a little extra physical activity in here. I kind of like that.
Yes, 3rd and 5 now. Highlands has converted both times on this drive. Another big play here. Go to their main running back, Quinton Boston, but flags fly. He's short of the first down marker. But we'll see what the laundry's about. Here's Lonnie Johnson.
First down.
Offside, Sam Houston.
So that's an automatic first down as they pick up the 5 yards. They needed less than that, so the drive is alive for the Highlands Owls, who, Chuck, I'm a uniform guy. They changed their helmets a bit. Got that Oregon look going with the owl wings. I think I like it.
I know, and I was with you, dude, with the Cherokees. I've been calling that way too long over on the other side, but yes, they are the Hurricanes, and they've always had some sweet Miami-looking uniforms as well.
They got the Superman logo with the Sam Houston on the helmets.
And then the mascots, the hockey pucks, those are cool too.
That's Lanier. That's the gear of the hockey pucks. 10th play of this drive, 2nd down, and we'll call it 7. Thomas Salome is just joining us, the backup quarterback, in for John Cervantes this week. Done a nice job, fires over the middle. That one's tipped, and that's picked off. Sam Houston on the turnover, still on his feet and still running, is number 14. That's Javion Anderson, and Jawan Anderson has the Hurricanes in business all the way down to the 30. And they'll be in business when we come back. Jawan Anderson with a big-time tip drill interception from the Sam Houston Hurricanes. Right in his hands, and he made a play with it after the ball. Nice job of finding space, and the Hurricanes are in business, and they want to go. 1st and 10. Little fake jet sweep coming to the near side. Tackled inside the 15 is Devin Harris. Let's head down to the field and David Chancellor. What's up, Chance?
I can already feel it. You need something to eat. They're about to score, Sam Houston, so don't go just yet. But Mike Steins from Church is here to tell us what's over at the old chicken factory.
I'll tell you what, San Antonio, if you haven't been out to one of our restaurants to check out our delicious waffles and tenders, shame on you. You're going to lose out. It's only $3.49, 5 waffle bites, 3 tenders. Come on down, check it out. Unbelievable deal. And a special shout out tonight goes to Manny Martinez, super guy, battling cancer, and he can do it. You go do it, Manny.
All right, so I like Mike. I like the waffles, but I love Matthew and Kirsten, and who knows what they got in store for us tonight. Guys, take it away.
Well, Mr. David, I've been telling you guys for 5 years now. I'm a simple kind of kid. So when I order Church chicken waffles, I like it simple, just the way it comes.
Well, I've been telling y'all for 3 years now that I'm a sassy kind of gal. So when I order Church's chicken waffles, I like it sassy. So load me up with maple butter dipping sauce.
Wow, Kirsten, that sounds awesome. I think we should have Mr. David singing with us this week. Ready, Mr. David?
Go. Okay, here we go.
Church's chicken.
Have the love. You hear that? Mr. David sang. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Chance. The Hurricanes in business all the way down to the 6-yard line. We've got 4:40 to go here in the first quarter. And they've got 1st and goal.
We're seeing how many kids actually touch the ball in this offense. I mean, they are really mixing it up, giving Highlands a lot of different looks.
Prime running a little option. Coming up and making a nice pop. It's Brandon Sandoval for Highlands.
Boy, did he ever. I mean, talk about shooting a gap and making a play. That looked like Optimus was going to be able to make something out of nothing right there, but outstanding play in the open field right there to bring down the quarterback.
So we're going to have 2nd and goal from about the 6-yard line. Monte Prime comes to the line of scrimmage. It looks like he'll go under center on this one. Hands straight ahead to Citizen, the fullback, and he walks in. Touchdown, Sam Houston. We've got our first score of the night.
Yeah, sometimes you can show them a bunch of different looks, trying to run it outside and try to jitterbug and get your way to the end zone that way. Or sometimes you can just go right between the tackles and just jam it down somebody's throat.
James Citizen plays linebacker. He's a 3-year starter there. He's the punter. And he is a heck of a fullback right there. You can tell he's got some size. So on to do the kicking, Juan Lozano will try to add the point after. And it's up, and it is good. So the Sam Houston Hurricanes lead 7-0. Highlands ball when we come back. We're back at Alamo Stadium, where Sam Houston has just scored to go up 7-0, and that gives us time to tell you about the San Antonio All-Star Cheer Challenge, brought to you by CPS Energy. 8 local high school cheer squads get the chance to cheer at the highest level at the U.S. Army All-American Bowl or the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by HEB. It's all on Saturday, January 3rd at the Dome. Cheer squads earn points from votes cast by you online. To register your team, just visit sanantoniosports.org/cheer and cast your vote. All right, so Sam Houston, turnovers are key, Chuck. Coaches always say,
takes all 3 phases, Chuck, your offense, defense, and your specialty teams.
They just
Indeed it does. And I mean, now it's up to Highlands here to, you got a lot of success. You're moving the ball down the field, and, it was really a decent pass by Salome, but got to be able to catch the ball.
All right, Moody with a nice little return there, just short of the 20. Let's go down to the field and David Chancellor. Chance.
Guys, thank you. We're here with Highlands band director Peter Acosta, who's in his first year, by the way, as the band director for the Owls. How's it going in year 1?
Everything is going pretty good. We're having a very smooth transition. I have a great number of kids who have a great attitude and a wonderful work ethic.
I would imagine there are challenges, though, when you take over a program, whether it's a band or an athletic program. They got to get to know you got to get to know them.
Exactly. When we're feeling each other out, they bought into the program that I'm trying to establish, trying to get a really good, positive, disciplined work ethic, and they're very good. They have great parents who have taught them very well, and they work together as a team, and that's what we're trying to do, is always strive to be consistent and always have a wonderful program.
What will you be performing for us tonight at halftime?
We're doing a Latin show, and with this, it's going to the theme of it is entitled La Fiesta Brava, and we're going to open with a tune called Macarena. You've heard that before. The ballad that we're doing is from the motion picture Zorro. That's entitled Diego's Goodbye, and then we're going to close with a wonderful Latin flavored tune that everybody knows. That's entitled Malagueña.
Well, we look forward to hearing it. Nice to meet you. And, guys, watch out. There's things flying all over. You guys, you know what I say. I mean, without the band, it's just the guys running around being sweaty and hitting each other. So we look forward to halftime.
All right, thanks a lot, Chance. Hey, earlier tonight when at the start of the broadcast, we talked about Shea Williams, number 40. And while Dave was talking to the band director on first down, we saw why Gary Green says this kid could be an Army All-American. Definitely a Division I talent. Number 40 just got into the backfield and made one of the bigger hits we've seen all year.
Yeah, destroyed the guy in front of him, also the ball carrier as well, but they're getting a huge push right now from all those guys on the D-line.
So it's 3rd and a long way to go, and that's why Bert Lopez will take the timeout. Chancellor was interviewing the band director, so if we can cue up that play we were talking about by Shea Williams. Number 40 just coming off the ball. It was on a handoff. This isn't the play. This play, Chance Russell was rushing the quarterback. But Shea Williams Very, very special talent.
And it really had been, for the most part, Highlands had held up pretty well up front. I mean, again, they were moving the ball on the last drive and just had the turnover that obviously made things go a little haywire. But, yeah, there's no doubt that Sam Houston has gone up ratcheted up a notch since they've got not only the turnover but the touchdown.
You look at Shea Williams. He's 6'2", 225, and he's only a junior. Coach Green says he continues to grow. Javante McGee was an Army All-American playing at Baylor now, starting defensive tackle. And Gary Green has a tendency to send kids to the highest level of football all over the country. He's got kids playing on the West Coast, in the Big 12. Third down and about 13 as you see pressure coming again. That's picked. And coming up with the interception is Zernick Woods. And pressure caused that, Chuck.
It did, Dom, and it looked like Highlands was trying to set up a screen, but there was really nobody there to take the ball. So there was obviously some confusion going on the Highlands side of the ball, but yeah, just one of those things. See, they let a couple of guys go. The linemen all think it's going to be a screen, but there's nobody there to get it.
Yeah, it's a combination of factors. You got a new young quarterback. You got an offensive line that's being dominated right now by the Sam Houston defensive line with pressure. And then you got kids in the backfield that can just make plays. And so here we go. Sam Houston trying to capitalize with some momentum. Little jet sweep goes the other way. Devin Harris to the 5 and to the 3. And he almost scored, if not for Dedrick Franklin, who came up and made the tackle.
Got a chance to talk to young Devin Harris before the game, and the coaches as well, and they said this is a young man that doesn't quite trust his own speed yet, but he saw something last week. He broke a long run, and he's just one of those guys that that's part of the learning process. That's what's so cool about what's going on at Sam Houston. A lot of sophomores played last year, they're now juniors, and they're still learning, and this young man's finding out that he can run the ball a little bit.
They try to hand it to Citizen. They were lined up in the I and run the fullback, but Highlands says, hey, burn me once, we get it, but not twice. Dedrick Franklin again with the tackle, setting up 3rd and goal. Well, no, it's 3rd and about a yard and a half. They can get a first down.
Yeah, it's really on the Highlands defense right here, and obviously their offense hasn't done them any favors, but for the most part, they've been pretty sound. They've just been backed up here most of the night.
All right, so 3rd and we'll call it 2. Well, it's a long one. Prime hands to Harris, and I don't think he's going to get there. Good job by the Highlands front 4.
Indeed, they're stocking everybody up there and geared up to stop that little dive play, and
that's big Abraham Segundo right there.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
He says, bring it. Senior defensive tackle, nose guard.
They got one more in them. This would be a huge turn of events if Highlands could get off the field here.
4th and 1 inside the 5 after a turnover and interception. Highlands' defense is going to try to make a stand. Prime fakes it, and getting the first down is Devin Harris. May have been Dwayne Brown. No, it's Harris.
Tell you what, Don, that play was dead to rights, stopped cold, and Harris made one little move at the last minute, fell forward and picked it up. That was a heck of a run right there by that young man. Didn't get much, but got enough.
Just a little juke to find a crease and dive forward for the first down. So now it's 1st and goal for Sam Houston. Ramonte Prime running the quarterback. Brown and Harris behind him. And there's going to be a substitution infraction there, as late to the action was Trenton Jones.
For a loss, there is a flag.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah, Trenton just came on and was running forward. You can run towards the line of scrimmage from the backfield only in arena ball.
Well, that was one of those where you'd have been better off just staying on the sidelines and go 10 on 11.
Yeah, exactly. Not sure they would have caught it or called it. You got a little bit of a delay in the action. Somebody wants a timeout. I think they're giving it to Sam Houston's going to take the timeout. It's time for the UIW Smile Cam, brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at the University of Incarnate Word. We appreciate them, as always, bringing you Smile Cam.
Don, during the timeout here, it also gives us a chance to talk about Sam Houston and where this program is going. You know, there was a lot of talk 4 years ago there was going to be a bond election and they were just going to get rid of Sam Houston High School. And so a lot of the kids in the area were going to different schools, and it really hurt Coach Green's numbers. And I mean, they really took their lumps over the last 2 or 3 years, but they've gotten the numbers back up. They went from like 600 kids playing on the team where they'd have, or 600 kids at the school, and maybe only have 17 kids out for football. Now they've got 1,000 kids at the school and roughly 600 kids now, or you go from 600 to 1,000, I'm sorry, but now you've got 40 kids out for football. So, you know, it's interesting, all that talk and what they were going to do with the school, how it really kind of hamstrung the coaches and what they were trying to do here. But Coach Green's got them back on track again. They looked like a JV team last year out here playing, but they're growing up pretty quickly here, and they're going to be really good next year.
Look at Harris's speed. I mean, he had nowhere to go. It's still a loss. Great defense by Highlands, but the way the kid moves laterally was unbelievable. Joseph Mangacat with the tackle, and that's the end of the quarter. Sam Houston leads it 7-0. We'll switch into the field, and Highlands defense right now answering the bell when we come back. We're back at Alamo Stadium. Sam Houston leads Highlands 7-0. It's time for our JR's Plumbing highlights from the first quarter. And we had a couple of interceptions. This was the first one on the night. That didn't lead to a touchdown. Jawan Anderson with a nice pick there. And then Sam Houston punched it in. James Citizen, their fullback, walked in from about 4 yards out. That's where we are, 7-0 Hurricanes, but they're driving. They've got second and a long way to go. And wide open in the end zone, caught, touchdown is Devin Harris. Lamonte Prime had all day, and streaking right down the middle was Harris, and he found his favorite target.
He really did, and you know, not an easy throw. I mean, he made it look easier than what it really was. I mean, he's a big left-handed kid, rolling to his right, but squared his shoulders towards the target, and those two guys did not miss. He was wide open.
Well, they've hooked up quite a bit. You know, each week on News 4 San Antonio, we got our break check play of the week, and those guys have been nominated 2 or 3 times this year already. They're making plays. Juan Lozano adding the extra point, and it's good. So Sam Houston leads Highlands 14-0 as we have 11:54 to play here in the second quarter. See the replay, Chuck? There you go.
Yeah, I can see why they call him prime time. I mean, Deion Sanders had a little left-handed in him, too.
Nice catch by Harris, who Devin Harris on the season has 5 touchdowns before that one, so that's his year. He's used to getting into the end zone. And Sam Houston is used to putting up points. They scored 40 last week against Brack, and they've been rolling ever since they dropped their first 2 games of the year. Hey, you can help a local school take home the $2,500 T&L band grant. It's all based on votes, and your vote counts. Stay tuned to the halftime show for information on how to vote. $2,500 T&L band grant made possible by Vulcan Materials Company. And we'll tell you how to text. You can right there text band 11 to 45203 for Highlands, and for Sam Houston, band 12 to 45203. And we'll tell you more about how to do that during halftime. There's your drive. 2 minutes and 58 seconds, took 6 plays and only covered 12 yards because of the turnover. And after a penalty, they threw an 18-yard touchdown to Devin Harris.
It's been interesting, Don, to see the progression of this young man. And again, we talked about it in the onset. He's now up to 14 touchdowns on the year and only 2 interceptions. I mean, that just goes to show you also how well he manages a ball game. You know, I mean, if you have a quarterback that has that kind of a ratio, touchdown passes to interceptions, I'll show you a team that's probably winning a lot of football games.
Yeah, I like his poise, just the way he handles himself. He's calm, cool. He's moves at his own speed. As Juan Lozano kicking it off to Quinton Boston and Bruce Moody. That's Boston across the 25. Almost has the 30.
Got a flag down on the field.
And we do have a penalty. We'll let Lonnie Harris explain. Having some trouble with Lonnie's
There's
microphone
a flag on
tonight.
the field.
It's going to be an illegal block.
First and 10 at the 14.
Apologize for those audio issues. It'll be first and 10 with the ball on the 14. See if Salome can get this Highlands offense going. He looked good in his first drive. Turns and hands to Quindon Boston, and Quindon Boston is hit hard, high and low, right at about the 19. Coming up to make the tackle is Marquise Keno.
Yeah, and a lot of this, Don, is just, you know, we talked about the push that Sam Houston was getting on the last one, but, you know, if you're Highlands, a lot of this is self-inflicted wounds that you're doing. You've had a lot of penalties. You had the big play downfield that could have been, but instead it's tipped and intercepted, so you just got to clean some things up.
2nd and 5 and jailbreak for Sam Houston, although Salome throws it. That wasn't a good decision. It's picked again, and this time it's Daryl Bledsoe with the Oski. And that's just a young quarterback, Chuck, who's trying to make a play. He's doing his best, and he's trying to keep the play alive. I mean, again, Shea Williams is a monster in there getting penetration. Kid's just trying to make a play.
Agreed, but he had too many other guys just standing around. I mean, obviously, when you get that big of a push and you've got big monsters coming at you right in your face, I mean, at some point, there's got to be a little bit of a scramble drill, and he got very little help on the other end of that, I can tell you that.
Shea Williams is dominating this football game. There's a little pass out into the flat, and still on his feet is Brown, I believe. Dwayne Brown with another reception. Dedrick Franklin with the tackle. Remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Forrest Whitaker played Jefferson, the linebacker? That's what Shea Williams is doing right now on the defensive side of the ball for Sam Houston.
Somebody destroy his car before the game?
I'm telling you, man. He is showing up on tape, as they say. All right, little fake. Here's Harris. Harris to the 5, makes a move. Touchdown, Sam Houston. Devin Harris, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and Sam Houston has blown this thing wide open.
Funny what a young man can learn in just a week's time. I mean, he saw this in the open field. Look at that. If you don't watch hips, you get destroyed. And I mean, wow, what a quick burst into the end zone.
He's made a couple of plays tonight where he runs sideways as fast as most people are running forwards. And that little juke, you had no chance. As Juan Lozano tries to add his 3rd PAT of the night. That one's up. And it's good. An 11-yard touchdown for Devin Harris. As the Sam Houston Hurricanes lead Highlands 21-0. Devin Harris, as I said, we call his number so much on our newscast that somehow on one of our shows the other night, we started talking about General Hospital or something, or Jack Wagner. So we nicknamed him Frisco from Frisco Jones. Hey, Chance, Frisco's done it again.
Frisco does it every single week. And as crazy as this might sound, coming up at halftime, I'm not sure if Sam Houston's band isn't better than their football team. They're led by this gentleman right here, Bruce Adams, who is a proud graduate of Sam Houston. Learned your trade in college at Florida A&M, and they're no slouch, obviously, in band. What is it about you guys with the flair? And you just put on quite a show.
We just love to entertain. We love to entertain. The kids are great. They're very energetic. If I give them something small, they want bigger. So we continue to give them bigger and better. We don't want something cute. We don't want something great. We have to have the wow factor.
And they do. How difficult is that, though, to teach? Not only are you playing, but there's the dance moves and all of the things that go into a performance from you guys.
Well, being that I'm a graduate of Sam Houston, I did a little of that as I was in the band. And, of course, when I went to Florida A&M, we did it at another level. So coming back, having the experience I have, being able to teach to the kid is just a natural thing. Plus, the kids are the type of kids that like to move anyway, move and groove. So it's a second nature thing for them.
All right, there you go. You got wow factor. You got another level, move and groove. I don't know if there's any other way to tease what you'll see at halftime. I have seen them in person. They will blow you away. Stick around. Bruce Adams and the Sam Houston Hurricane Band coming up at halftime, guys.
Hey, Dave, see if you'll do some Florida A&M moves for us real quick.
They want to know, can you give us a little that Florida A&M?
Show us his moves, man.
Oh, mercy.
Guess who? Shea Williams, who might have hurt himself.
I'm getting hurt watching this kid.
He hurt himself making a play. I think we ought to have the Shea Williams highlight reel at some point tonight. He's made 3 plays that just make your jaw drop, and that was one of them right there. That was a body slam from WWE. Run a little option. Are the Owls and going low to make a tackle. Coming up for his corner spot is Darrell Bledsoe.
And see, they jacked up that screen so bad on the last possession that, if you're a coach, what a great time to run a screen when you have this much from the other team's defensive line living on your side of the ball. I mean, that's what you want to do to try to counteract what's going on. But, you got to be leery of those kinds of things because you just turn the ball over trying to do one of those.
Jacoby Watkins on that last tackle. There's a few kids standing out tonight. We've got another timeout on the field. This one's taken for Highlands. We'll take it with them. Sam Houston 21, Highlands nothing when we come back. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's 3rd and 11 for the Highlands Owls, who'll trail the Sam Houston Hurricanes 21-0. 9 minutes to play here in the half. As Thomas Salome goes back to pass, and he's got pressure again, and he's doing a good job of escaping this time. Brought down from behind, right out about the line of scrimmage.
It looked like he may have gotten tackled by his own guy, but man, Salome running for his life back there.
Robert Bledsoe chasing him as well. That brings up 4th down, and the Owls will punt it away. Doing the punting for Highlands is Roger Gonzalez. This is their first punt of the night. Had a drive stall. They had a couple of interceptions, 3 in fact. And so Juan Lozano will punt it away. And that ball is going to just die out right about at midfield, and that's where the Hurricanes will have it. Up 21-0. Brandon Sandoval just covers the punt. The high end zone shot tonight coming through from a 43-foot scissor lift. It's provided to us by Contractors Building Supply Company. They have a wide variety of available equipment, and they deliver. Give them a call at 210-496-1227. They will take great care of you at Contractors Building Supply.
Man, you really sold that one. I need to go over there.
Pass across the middle, complete from Prime. And that was to Trayvon Vaughns. Joseph Mangacat with the tackle. Flag down on the
Prime.
Face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So you hear the call. You got to tack on 15 to it as well. So that's a long way to go, and a first down for Sam Houston. That's exactly what Highlands does not need at this time.
not a whole lot has gone their way tonight, that is for sure.
3 receivers left as Prime scrambles left, fires, ball's caught, coming up and making a big hit. Number 45 for Highlands was there, but also Brandon Sandoval was there, but I believe it was their
Dedrick Franklin?
Yeah, it may have been Dedrick Franklin coming up to make a pop.
Tell you what, that was a collision. That's as good as the one we've seen all night.
Yeah.
And again, good feel for the position back there by Optimus. Floating outside and hello, see what you hit.
Yeah. Dedrick Franklin, big time play. Prime staying in the pocket. He's got room to run, and he does. Gets to the corner and then jumps out of bounds. Good for another first down. Rene Lopez forced him out. And that's an Affiliated Mortgage first down. And I tell you what, both with Devin Harris and with Prime, the end of that run, the way that he's able to just skip out sideways. Both of them have had moves tonight where they juke sideways, and the quickness is just off the chart.
Yeah, Dwayne Brown, too. I mean, they've got some players that can do that. Some of these guys, not the biggest kids on the planet, but extremely athletic.
Prime, little pump and go. Throws, caught. There's another one of those moves.
Look at that.
Trayvon Vaughns with the catch and the move. And it reminds me of Coach Mike Robbins back at Clark in the old days when he talked about a minnow. When you go fishing, is quicker than a minnow. You're trying to skim one.
Trying to catch a fly with a couple of chopsticks, man. I mean, they're all over.
Malik Thomas with the tackle, but that's a hard tackle to make. Second down and 1. Prime hands inside, and that time is snuffed out by the Highlands defense. Kyle Ellis, 52 on the play.
They're doing a really nice job of disrupting that one.
Interesting call here. 3rd and 5 for the Hurricanes. Knocking on the door. Blitz coming. Prime's got his guy, making men miss and fighting close to the first down, I believe was Trayvon Vaughns. Chris Hernandez there on the tackle.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, just athletes make a play there. I mean, Highlands had that well defended. They send a corner on the blitz, and they had 2 guys there ready to make a play. But yet the Cherokees, the Hurricanes, I mean, are still able to make the first down.
All right, so 1st and goal for Sam Houston. Run that same little play, and walking in for a touchdown is Devin Harris again, his 3rd of the night. They run it left, they run it right, and they run it right into the end zone.
A little trap, and here you go. I mean, you fake like you're going to give it to him, then give it to him, and it was the parting of the Red Sea by the big beasties up front. I mean, I think you and I could have run through that hole.
I don't know.
I honestly, normally I wouldn't say that, but that one, yeah, we wouldn't have had far to run.
Extra point is good as Chuck completely overestimates his athletic ability. Sam Houston 28, Highlands nothing. It's been the Devin Harris show here at Alamo Stadium. Welcome back to Alamo Stadium. Sam Houston leads Highlands 28-0, and that gives us time to tell you about the San Antonio All-Star Cheer Challenge powered by CPS Energy. It's already underway. Voting has begun. Vote getters as of tonight, Chuck: John Jay, Memorial, East Central, Reagan, Brack, Taft, St. Mary's Hall, and O'Connor. If you didn't see your school up there, it's not too late to register. Register team and start voting now at sanantoniosports.org/cheer. Say hi. There you go, Prime. Devin Harris. It's all Hurricanes right now. Another 2-minute and 48-second drive, another 6 plays, and Devin Harris has his 3rd TD of the night.
I was talking to a couple of the coaches down before the game, and we said, man, you guys are really going to be having a good team next year with all these kids finally going to be seniors. And one of the coaches stopped me right in my tracks and said, we're going to be good this year. I mean, you can already tell that these kids, having kind of grown up together, and with the 17 sophomores that had to play a lot last year, how that 2-8 team, really, you don't think winning only 2 games is going to pay dividends, but just playing each and every night, knowing what it's like to play on the varsity level, how that's already showing up here in 2014.
Yeah, and the guys that are making plays, the guys that are the stars, as Marcus Keno makes the tackle there, the guys that we're calling the names of, Devin Harris with the 3 touchdown, Ramonte Prime, the quarterback, the dominant defensive lineman, Shea Williams, all juniors. Trayvon Vaughn, number 1, with the quickness and speed, junior. Dwayne Brown, the other running back that has shown up tonight with a touchdown.
Yeah, Coach Green was telling me, he said somebody once told him, for every sophomore that you have starting, that's going to be 1 loss. He said, we had 14 kids starting last year that were sophomores. He goes, we didn't play 14 games, so they were lucky to go 2-8, he said. But you can see the growth of this team already from year to year.
Inside handoff as Salome turns and hands it to Boston. Boston's had a good year for Highlands. Although the Owls are 0-5, he's put up over 500 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. And one reason that the Owls are down 28-0, they're without their starting quarterback, John Cervantes, tonight, who's out for this one. Salome in relief has thrown 3 picks. He's done some good things as well as he hands off inside and just stoned at the line of scrimmage. And that's big number 71. Chance Russell stopping it along with Zernick Woods, who already has an interception. And Chance Russell, as you can see, you don't want to run into him. He's 5'10", 310. 310. Built like a fire hydrant. Got an injury on the field. Jared Cephas, the injured player. Looks like they're tending to his ankle.
Yeah, we hope that young man's okay, but it has been that kind of night for Highlands, Don, as you alluded to. I mean, things haven't gone real well on the scoreboard, and, the last thing you want to do is get somebody hurt now as well.
All right, here's a look at district. Sam Houston, 4-2 on the year. That's 4-0 in district play, followed by kind of a logjam of teams with 1 loss, including Brack, Burbank, and Edison. Harlandale, McCollum have 2 losses, and then bringing up the bottom half is Jeff Lanier and Highlands right now at 0-3.
Yeah, and this was going to be a huge game for Highlands, too, because even as bad as the record was, and we talked about how competitive they'd been in those 5 losses, there was still a chance to get into this playoff hunt, but they had to be pretty much perfect from here on out. So, things have not really gone Highlands' way, and that young man, as they help him off the field, we hope that he's going to be all right. But, it's just been a rough situation, and like you said, Don, it's tough. You come back in here in a game that you pretty much have to have, and it throws off continuity when you're going with a backup quarterback. And obviously I don't want to pin it all on him because he's done a lot of good things tonight, but it's just, it's tough when you have to replace guys and they're at those kinds of positions.
And also, at this point of the year, when you're 0-5, it's a tough job on a coach to keep the kids motivated and involved and fighting hard, because the tendency to say, pressure comes again.
There you go.
Dump off. Big gain on the play. Looks like a first down. Bruce Moody.
See, that's how you slow down the rush. You run a little screen like that, and I'll tell you what, though, those Sam Houston guys are getting back there so quickly that they're just blowing up everything. I'll tell you what, Salome took another shot at the end of that play.
He is going to have nightmares of a green and orange number 40. James Citizen also with pressure. Affiliated Mortgage 1st and 10, and again getting in there to blow up the play. Daryl Bledsoe that time. Coming up from his corner spot.
Yeah, Bledsoe.
Submarine tackle.
Yeah, he can play safety. He plays corner, Keno, Citizen. These are guys that Coach Green really loves. I mean, really physical, athletic type players. And again, 3 more guys that have kind of grown up here in the system and still got a lot of playing time left to go.
He may not have big numbers. He may only have 40 players, but I tell you what, he's got some good ones. That one's incomplete from Salome, who is limping a little bit, trying to hobble off, walk that one off. Armando Ferguson, the intended receiver.
I'll tell you what, man, Sam Houston has really flipped the switch. The first drive of the game, Highlands was kind of dictating tempo and protecting the quarterback, but I mean, there's just nowhere to go with this football. You take 2 steps back and there's 3 guys in your face.
Yeah, the pass rush for Sam Houston tonight has just been unbelievable. And they're only sending 3 here. Salome fires quickly, and that's tipped, and almost had another pick off the tip drill. You can see Reed Burton, Lopez's lips. He said, punt, punt. It's time to kick it away. Burt does a great job over at Highlands High School. Really enjoy him. Doing a good job with those young men. Fun to be around. Had him last year with Burbank. The Highlands Burbank game.
Yeah, done a really nice job of kind of growing the program over there. And, you know, obviously you'd like to have a few more wins this year, but things don't always go your way.
Ball bounces at the 40, and Bledsoe's going to let it die at about the 37. Sam Houston already with a 28-0 lead. Have another chance with 3 minutes to play here in the first half. As we break out the Smile Can. The UIW Smile Can brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Highlands cheerleaders still smiling. Earn a degree of difference at the University of the Incarnate Word. Our thanks to UIW for their sponsorship as always. 1st and 10 for the Sam Houston Hurricanes. Ball spotted at their own 36. Prime's looking deep. Got a man and pulling off his route. A little confusion on the play was Jawan Anderson, who ran an out when he ran an up and go. Prime thought he was going to do an up and go, and he broke it off on the out route.
Tight spiral, though.
I'm no fashion expert, but I think when you combine the green and the orange, and then you throw the pink in there, I don't know, man.
Oh, he's pulling it off.
It looks good on him, right?
Indeed it does.
Everything's going his way tonight. Inside handoff to Dwayne Brown. Brown's got some room. Brown across the 50. Brown to the 45. Almost popped at the distance. Octaviano Camacho with the tackle. And Dwayne Brown may have hurt his left hand.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to the coaches before the game about Dwayne Brown. They said just a great kid, good in the classroom, and
I know what that
got
is.
A little Barry Sanders in him too. Hopefully he's all right.
Oh, I've been there. He knew exactly what that is. But in case he's got family watching, I'm not going to say. That's where the trainer just grabs it, yanks it, and pops it right back in. Wow, nice play up front. Brandon Sandoval with the initial contact, and Joshua Brown there to finish the job. But Sandoval, senior linebacker, came up. We've called his name a lot tonight, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to spy the quarterback, that's what you call doing your job right there. I mean, he sniffed that one out and had Prime in his sights the entire time and absolutely finished him off.
So 2nd down and about 14 now for Sam Houston, backed up right at the 50-yard line. Prime's shotgun, wants to fire deep, goes over the middle into triple coverage, and incomplete. Bruce Moody there, the wide receiver, was there playing on the defensive side of the ball on the coverage. Ball was intended for Trenton Jones. Trenton Jones, the fastest player out here on either team, runs a 4.4.
Yeah, and getting faster, they say, too. He's a tall kid.
And he's also a junior. Another one of those juniors.
Yep, you can't coach his height and you can't coach his speed. Let's see if Highlands can get off the field here, backing him up 3rd and long.
3rd and long for Prime. Pressured, little screen. Devin Harris, nowhere to go, but he finds a little place. And look at this. Devin Harris, short of the first down. Now he's right at the stick.
Absolutely
See where they mark
unbelievable.
it. I think they'll go for it no matter what. Dedrick Franklin on the tackle, and he's going to be about a half a yard short.
You know, Highlands has done a really nice job, you know, when they haven't been stuffed down in their own end.
He was completely locked up here and found a way to get through.
He did, and, you know, kudos right there to big number 74, Donnie Campos, too, because he absolutely finished off his block on that one. But, yeah, that was just a heck of an individual play right there, because Highlands is, they've got their guys there to make a play.
1:15 left in the first half. Sam Houston with a 28-0 lead and a 4th down, so they're going to talk about it, figure out what play. How about that play where they fake it one way and run Harris the other way? They've run it 3 times tonight, and I think they've scored each time. Little trap counter. Here's their Hurricanes schedule the rest of the way. As you can see, they lost their first 2 ball games of the year, but they were right in it with Bandera and Southside. Then consistently they've increased their point totals, throwing up 55 against Jefferson, 40 against Bracken. They've already hung 28 here in the first half. And then the rest of the way, it's district play, of course, with Highlands, Edison, Harlandale, and Lanier.
Yeah, I mean, Southside's undefeated, so it's not like they're playing Sisters of the Poor and racking up these wins. They've knocked off some quality opponents along the way.
High snap, 4th and 1. Handoff inside, I believe it was Harris. If not, it was Brown. And I think Dwayne Brown has the first down. The Affiliated Mortgage first down for the Hurricanes. Trying to add to this point total of 28.
Better pick up the pace here just a little bit, under a minute to go.
3 receivers to the right. Now he looks left, and now Prime buying time, fires, caught right at the 20. Good coverage on the play, and it's a Dwayne Brown again, another junior who found space. Clock stops to move the change. 47 seconds to go in the half. Sam Houston wants to go in a hurry. Trips left for Prime, who spikes the ball and kills the clock.
How about that play by Prime on that last one to pick up all those yards, Don? He could have taken off around the right side and probably picked up 10 or 15 yards on the ground, but instead stayed in the pocket, was getting all kinds of great protection up front, and then allowed one of his receivers to come free. So
made a tough throw, too, in a tough spot.
But you can see the growth of this young man and how he's developing as a passer, too, and not just having to rely on his feet.
I know those coaches told you they're going to be good this year. I can't wait to see them next year.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Wow, are they going to be special? I mean, their top 5 guys that we've been calling tonight are all juniors. 2nd down 10, and a little mistake there as the Hurricane offensive line jumped. Prime's 8 for 12 tonight, 74 yards.
It's not bad. And what
Sam Houston.
Coach Green was telling me was that, you know, they've got a good freshman class coming in here, so the numbers are starting to build, and that's been the toughest thing for Coach Green to sustain it since he's been at Sam Houston, is just trying to keep the numbers up.
Harris is in the open field. Watch out. Devin Harris to the 15, to the 12, steps out of bounds. We've got 26 ticks left. And the Hurricanes cross into the Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone. Short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
3rd down and 3.
Still got a couple of timeouts in their back pocket, so you can essentially open up the entire playbook here if that's what they decide to do. But obviously, put it in Prime's hands and let's see what he can do.
Brown comes in motion. They fake it to him. They give it to Harris, the same play that's worked all night. Harris still on his feet, knows the timeout situation, so he goes inside instead of outside. Dedrick Franklin makes the tackle, and clock will stop because of the first down. And they're going to have to go in a hurry as the clock restarts on the line. We've got 13 to go as Prime spikes. And we've got 12 seconds left. And again, I'm trying to read the scoreboard here. I know they've got one timeout left. And I think that's all they've got left is one. So what do you do, Chuck? Run or throw with 12 seconds to go?
Well, I mean, that's the thing with having the one timeout left. You can pretty much do whatever you want. But if it was me, I'll let the quarterback do his thing. Maybe give him the option whether he can run or throw it.
All right. Prime's going to fire a little fade route high to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Sam Houston. Jawan Anderson, the young man who made the first interception of the game on defense, has his first reception of the night, and it's a touchdown.
How about that textbook drive, though, Don? You not only go down and get all the yards and the 6 points that you need, but you do so all the while milking the clock and only giving your opposition 8 seconds to play with on the other side. I mean, that was absolute textbook by Sam Houston.
And as Juan Lozano tries to add the PAT and does not, it's no good. So it's 34-0. The touch on that ball from Ramonte Prime. Just laying it up there nice and high and letting Jawan Anderson go up and get it.
But it's kind of cool, too, to see just the growth of a team that, you know, probably has a bunch of sophomores running around out there, that it's a little hard to manage a game when you're just getting your feet wet at the varsity level. But again, that was just really impressive what they were able to do with the clock, with the timeouts, with the play calling. Get what you deserve, get what you need, get the 6 points, but also, again, manage the game.
I know of at least one NFL team up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that could use that kind of clock management.
It's getting better, though.
It is.
It is getting better.
It wasn't that great against the Texans the other day when.
No, it wasn't good at the end of the game, but really there were 2 weeks in a row where they had drives at the end of first half.
Yeah.
Where they really did a good job of milking the clock. And yeah, you're right. Up until this year, though,
time
it's been
and distance and
pretty bad
situation.
All you got to do is play Madden a little bit. Realize what it's all about, managing the game clock.
I think Jason Garrett's coaching too much and watching too much film. He always talks about how much film he's watching. Let's get Jason Garrett playing Madden.
That's right. You know not to give your opposition any time to play with.
All right, so we got 8 seconds left. Quindon Boston is going to take it and juke to the 25. Ball's taken away.
Wow.
And the horn rings. Tavion Jones just stripped it from him. That's the end of the half. We may have an injury, guys, too, on the field. Sam Houston's going to lead it 34-0 at halftime. Hope that Highlands Owl is okay. But in the meantime, let's go down to the All-Pro. David Chancellor with the All-Pro.
Yeah, I wish I was. Coach Kerry Green, I see the 34 points, but I'm just amazed at what your defensive line is doing and how they are controlling this game. Do you see, what do you see from them?
Well, I'll tell you what, we got one young man on there, Shea Williams, that is a monster. And, you know, number 40. And we've just, everything we talk about is offense, defensive line. I don't care how good you are as a running back or wide receiver. If we can't control the offense and defensive line, we're not going to be any good.
The guys up in the booth were impressed with the way Ramonte and the offense kind of managed the clock there at the end. Obviously, you guys are running the show as well, but how did you see that play out? And obviously, you got the touchdown.
Well, I tell you, and I thought we were a little sloppy when we started off, but we're starting to kind of get the ball rolling now. Ramonte takes control, and everybody on offense, they're starting to get experience and some confidence. And as they get more confidence, we've got a lot of weapons as long as we can connect the dots.
Coach, thanks a lot. We'll see you in the second half.
Yes, sir.
34-zip up to you guys. You heard him. He said a lot of weapons. Thursday Night Lights brought to you by Church's Chicken. Coming back.
Welcome to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the Bauman Halftime Show. Sam Houston leads Highlands 34-0. You know, on TNL, we love high school football. Not just the football, the spirit groups, pep bands, the marching bands, and one of the best things that we have each and every week is the talent level of these marching bands. Right now, the Highlands Owls marching band is on the field. Let's listen to their halftime performance.
The award for Outstanding Section of the Week goes to the Trumpet Section. And the Outstanding Marcher of the Week is Dominique Garza.
job by the Highlands Owls marching band tonight. Really enjoyed their performance. If you want to help Highlands win the band challenge, just text band 11 to 545-203. That's band 11 to 45203 for our Vulcan Materials Company band grant. It's 34-0 Sam Houston at the half. We're back with the very entertaining Hurricane marching band when we come back.
Welcome back to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
All right, our Bauman halftime show continues as the Highlands band continues to perform for the fans here at Alamo Stadium. But time right now for our 24/7 recruiting spotlight, including a local kid from San Antonio, from Cibolo Steel, Bryson Denley.
This is Barton Simmons with 24/7 Sports, and I'm here for your 24/7 Sports recruiting spotlight. Tonight, I'd like to talk about Bryson Denley. He's a junior out of the state of Texas, Steele High School in the San Antonio area. He's an all-purpose back, 5'8". He's 165 pounds, and he really is the type of back that would fit extremely well in those Baylor, Texas Tech type of systems that get those running backs in space, let their playmakers make play in and out of the backfield, can really catch the ball well. And, well, lo and behold, his offers early on are from Baylor and Texas Tech. And that's really the type of player that he is. You know, he can be a benefit to a team in the return game as a punt returner, kick returner, catches the ball really well, and already as a junior, he's picked up a lot of attention, recruiting momentum as he's continued to see his star rise. Currently, 24/7 Sports Composite ranks Bryson Denley as the number 8 all-purpose back in the country. He's the number 68 player in the state of Texas currently, and his 24/7 Sports Composite national ranking is number 475, all positions included. This is Barton Simmons. This has been your 24/7 Sports recruiting spotlight.
All right, thanks a lot, Bryson. It's 34-0 here at Alamo Stadium, where Sam Houston has dominated Highlands so far in the first half. Looking to go 5-0 in district play are the Hurricanes. And as always, we like to spotlight some very smart student athletes, our Scholar Athletes of the Week, brought to you by San Antonio Sports. Here's Jeff Jones.
Many would describe Highlands center Michael Dominguez and Sam Houston guard Marquise Young as the total packages. These guys are studs on the football field. They are both at the top of their classes academically, and they're involved in organizations like baseball, the National Honor Society, and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So the question is, how do they find time for it all?
A lot of scheduling, trying to work around, football is like one of the main things I do, so I try to work around football.
As growing up, my parents taught me how to manage my time wisely. Games last, school first.
School first seems to be a motto for these young men who will both graduate with honors. And based on the careers they've chosen to pursue, they better get used to studying hard.
As a kid, I was thinking about joining the Army. But since most people that went to the Army go to engineering, so I said I might as well try out myself, see what goes on.
I want to do something that deals with people and how I can help them. I feel like that's where that came in. The desire to be a doctor.
Even though making great grades is high on both of their priority lists, these offensive linemen agree there's one feeling on the field that can't be matched anywhere else.
You get a good block, pancake block. You get downfield to separate with my team.
Pancake block. Man, I know with me and the guard, we double team over there. We double team on a guy, that's, I don't know, that just gets me fired up and just ready for more.
We hope that both of these guys are fired up and ready to go for the second half. But for now, we, along with Brad Young from the San Antonio Sports Board of Directors, congratulate Michael Dominguez and Marquise Young, this week's San Antonio Sports Scholar Athletes.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff Jones. It's 34-0 Sam Houston. When we come back, that Florida A&M inspired marching band from the Sam Houston Hurricanes. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Back at the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show, Sam Houston leads Highlands 34-0. You know, earlier we had David Chancellor talking to the Sam Houston band director, saying they were going to get their groove on. I hear it. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let's groove tonight. about that Sam Houston High School marching band? Who knew that those kids would do the same moves on the field that Chuck does in the booth at halftime? What do you call that, Chuck? Twerking? If you want to vote for Sam Houston, just text band 12 to 45203. All right, let's take a look at our halftime highlights tonight. It's been all Sam Houston, brought to you by JR's Plumbing, and it all started with defense. After a turnover, James Citizen goes in on a 5-yard touchdown run. It's 7-0. Another turnover led to another touchdown. The first for Devin Harris. This is an 18-yard touchdown catch. That made it 14-zip, and Harris also had 2 touchdown runs, one of 11 yards, one of 6 yards, the second of which put Sam Houston up 28-0, and then they capped it off with a Jawan Anderson 7-yard touchdown catch. Nice throw right there by Ramonte Prime. And Chuck, as we look at our halftime stats brought to you by Church's Chicken, it's all Sam Houston, and they're doing it both with the run and the pass. Total offense, they're dominating, but as we talked about, the domination starts on both sides of the ball up front.
And there's been no question about it, Don, but really the big thing is the 3 turnovers, because Sam Houston has taken every one of those and converted them into touchdowns. And really, I thought for the most part, Highlands' defense has showed up tonight and done a really good job. Unfortunately, they've been playing on a short field most of the night because of those turnovers, but very little has gone right for Highlands so far. Obviously, Sam Houston is rolling. We'll see what's going to happen in the second half.
Well, the Sam Houston marching band still really entertaining the fans here at Alamo Stadium. They're having a blast. We are too, and we'll be back with the second half. Looking forward to a very good second half and see if Highlands can bounce back. It's 34-0. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Thank you for watching the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show. Stay tuned for the second half kickoff. Tonight's game in high definition is brought to you by Meddler's Jewelry on Blanco, just outside Loop 410.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Lights. The Sam Houston Hurricane marching band about to wrap up their act here on the field. Their football team with a lot to cheer about tonight, up 34-0 on Highlands. And of course, the Hurricanes are led by Coach Gary Green, and we've talked a lot about him tonight and the job that he does. You may not know that Gary Green, the greatest players ever to come out of San Antonio, he's in the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. Outstanding career at Sam Houston. Went to Baylor, was a #1 draft pick, was an All-Pro with the Kansas City Chiefs. And Chuck, I mean, guys of that stature, you know, rarely come back and coach high school football, but I think he's got more of a calling than it is a profession, because he really helps his young men in life and not just football.
You know, and he had such a great career, Don, and I was thinking, I mean, if we had many players that were, you know, 4-time Pro Bowlers and, you know, players of that ilk, I mean, it seems like Gary Green is one of those guys that really hasn't gotten his due as one of the greatest athletes that this area has ever seen. And you know, look at the nice plaque that they put up. I mean, he's starting to get some accolades for some of his athletic achievements. And, you know, obviously this year they redone the entire stadium, and they're trying to honor some of the greatest athletes that have ever come through SAISD. And Coach Green and Senior Sack, they were both honored a couple of weeks ago in a nice ceremony here. But, I mean, talking about the calling that he has for coaching, Don, this is a guy who grew up, both parents were educators. He wanted to be a coach, but he wanted to be a father too, so he felt like if he was going to be a college or a pro coach, it really wouldn't give him a lot of time around the house. But he really enjoys coaching these young men at Sam Houston. He's done a heck of a job, and again, what an unbelievable athlete. I mean, played in that NFC Championship game between the Rams and the Bears, where the Bears, of course, the '85 Bears, one of the best teams in NFL history. And then, you know, in 1982, he was voted by his peers, his own team, as the best player on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he was that kind of player that had his career cut short because of a neck injury. And, you know, you can make the argument that he's done more after his career guiding and mentoring some of these kids than the kind of player he was, and that says a lot.
Yeah, he was, I mean, you look at his resume, and you think about this. He was a consensus All-American at Baylor, was the 10th overall pick in the entire NFL draft in 1977. They said he was the best corner to come out of all colleges for the 10 years before that. Started in Kansas City for 7 years, played with the Rams. Arguably, I mean, what, other than Tommy Nobis? I mean, I can't think of, you know, who's better. Who had a better college and pro career coming out of San Antonio?
Yeah, 4 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pro teams, 33 career picks. And look at him. He's 59 years old, and it looks like he can still go
45. Told me he's lost 35 pounds recently. Got up to 235, so now he's at about 200. Still built, still works out every day. And he's in the Baylor Hall of Fame. I mean, he's one of the best players ever play at Baylor. And played on that 1974 Miracle on the Brazos team with Grant Taft. And he's got these kids playing. And we've been around him, and we've seen what he does. I mean, Chuck, he's got some situation over there where he not only plays coach, a lot of situations he plays daddy, and a lot of situations he plays counselor, and a lot of situations he plays mentor. And he's really, really doing great work at Sam Houston, not as a football coach, but as a role model to the young men on his football team.
Yeah, we were talking about off camera during halftime. I mean, he's feeding some of these kids. And so, you know, there's a lot on his plate, not just as a coach, but, you know, walking around before the game, Don, getting a chance to talk to some of these kids, and very respectful. And you can tell that, you know, they're getting it from somebody, whether it's at home or whether it's the coach. And, you know, it just speaks volumes of what's going on at Sam Houston High School.
Yeah, one of our very, very best. One of the best athletes of all time, one of the best guys you'll ever meet. He's got his team up 34-0, getting ready to get the second half underway. The Highlands Owls will receive the kick. Gary Green's Hurricanes will kick it off, and that means that Juan Lozano will do the kicking. Bert Lopez sending his Owls out. Don't know what Bert's message was at halftime, but we'll see if the Owls answer. Tough situation for them with their starting quarterback out this week. And I tell you what, I like the moxie of the young Thomas Salome early. Made a couple of bad throws, but also made a couple of really good plays to try to get their offense on track. Not his fault. A lot of this is just domination up front by number 40. And you heard at halftime Gary Green tell our David Chancellor Shea Williams is a monster, and he has been that tonight. It's our ironclad kickoff back for the second half. Lozano kicks it off. And it's going to be taken by one of the up men at the 35 and have a little room, and brought down there by his shoulder pads is Armando Ferguson, the junior. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Highlands Owls.
Hey, look, Don, things haven't gone Highlands' way all year. We know that. But Coach Lopez really talked up his kids this week. He goes, you know, the record obviously isn't where we want it to be, but nobody's quit. These kids are still buying into what we're trying to do. And he's been really, really proud of the effort that these kids have put forth each and every week. And, you know, we talked about before tonight's game, they'd been in every single game, had a couple of games blown in the last minute of a ball game. And, you know, maybe that could have changed the fortunes of their season. But regardless, the effort has been outstanding from the Highlands Owls all year long.
All right, Salome hands to Quentin Boston, and he runs into 4 or 5 Hurricanes, and he's brought down right there Darius Davis, the 3-year starter, one of the few veteran players on the Sam Houston defense. Play a lot of young guys as Boston limps off. That's not a good sign for Highlands. He's their most prolific offensive player. Jacoby Watkins also there on the tackle. That's Watkins right there, number 23. Jacoby Watkins, one of those juniors again. Sam Houston offense loaded with underclassmen as Salome fires to the near side. That's Moody, and Moody picks up about 2, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And Wesley Huell there to bring him down.
And Marquise Keno as well, and the zone defense doing exactly what they've been coached to do. Guys are staying where they're supposed to stay, coming up with a big play and forcing Highlands into another 3rd and long situation.
So it's 3rd and 9 for the Owls as Salome brings a man in motion. Boston is back in. 9 to snap it. They get it off. Salome pressured, hit as he throws, and it's almost pick 6 to the house, going right through the hands of Marquise Keno, who was ready to house it. Pressure coming as well from Jacoby Watkins.
Jacoby Watkins coming clean from a far left side, and And he was just another one step away from making a big play on his end as well.
Third down and 5. Gary Green signals in his defensive play call. Highlands having a bit of a hard time getting the play off. They've only got 7 seconds to get it off. And now they're going to burn a timeout. Bert Lopez will take a timeout with third down and 5. And we'll take it with them. Sam Houston 34, Highlands nothing. 10:09 to go in the third quarter on Thursday Night Lights.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Law Office of Anna Laura Hesbrook.
All right, 3rd and 6 for Highlands as we come back for the Owls. And Salome hit as he throws, has a man that's caught, and going to be just short of the first down, I believe, is Denny Peterson.
Yeah, they didn't give him any help on the spot, but wow, what a throw by Salome. Hanging in there at the last second, took a wicked shot, then delivered the strike. That was a big league completion right there.
I mean, he really hung in there as Wesley Huell was breathing down his neck. And hung in there, and going to be 4th and about a half a yard. Still running shotgun for Salome, who hands to Quindon Boston, who pops it outside. He's going to have the first down and a lot more. Quindon Boston outside and out of bounds past the 40-yard line, and that's a Don Johnson first down as Tavion Jones forces him out.
Quindon Boston doing a really nice job right there. That play looked like it was going to be stone cold at the door, right at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to bounce it outside, and as you said, Don, picked up a lot more than just moving the sticks.
All right, so some signs of life for the Highlands offense as young Thomas Salome tries to rally the troops down 34-0 on first down. Hands to Boston, has a little bit more room, and he's brought down, though, after a gain of about 1. And again, in on the tackle is Zurich Woods, who has an interception tonight.
Trying to run away from the left side of that line, and there was just nothing over on the other side as well.
James Citizen also in there, number 35. He's the fullback who scored the touchdown earlier, going both ways. Also is their punter. 2nd down and 9 for Salome. Runs option right. Keeps, and Salome with a burst of speed picks up about 6. Again, it's Zurich Woods on the tackle. And that'll set up about 3rd and 3.
You know, this is really how they started the game, Don. They were having a lot of success. They were moving the ball down the field, going with the wind at their back, and then they had the one throw that was, I thought it was a pretty good throw, but the ball gets tipped and gets intercepted, and they didn't play that way the rest of the half.
Inside handoff and stood straight up is Quindon Boston, and the way he went backwards is concerning. He may be hurt, and I think he is. James Citizen stood him up and then bent him over backwards, and it was an awkward landing for Quindon Boston, and he is writhing in pain.
My goodness, I mean, not exactly what you want to see for sure. I mean, he had one guy underneath his leg and then the other guy pinning him back. I mean, it was just an awkward play all the way around, and we'll certainly hope for the best there.
That's a tough one because it's a good play by the defense by Citizen, but at the same time, you know, he didn't intend that.
And you talked about what a key player Boston's been for Highlands. I mean, he scored 7 touchdowns on the year. He's the leading point guy. Huge blow.
Yeah, Quindon Boston has been their leading rusher this year. As I said before, he came into the game with over 509 yards. And watch the end of this play. A guy comes back. Yeah, he was. One more time, guys, if you don't mind. Slow it down. What happened was he got stood up, and then somebody came and landed on the back of his right leg. And he got rolled up on from behind right there and then bent over that way. And thank goodness he's walking off on his own power, because that's dangerous when you get sandwiched like that.
Tell you what, that is not what I thought we would be seeing about 3 minutes ago.
A cart.
Great sign.
Great sign. I thought we'd be seeing a cart the way he bent on that play. That's good news.
We'll take it.
So 4th and 3 for Highlands, and Salome gets near the marker. Thought I saw a flag fly.
Thomas Salome hit by Wesley Hewell. There is a flag.
And that time they got a good spot. We'll check out the flag.
Sam Houston penalized 5 yards for.
So you hear Lonnie with the call. The offsides, and so it's an automatic first down for Salome, who showed a little speed and then paid for it at the end of the run. But the Owls with, like I said, signs of life on this drive. Down 34-0 with 7:50 to go in the third. They'll throw it in the flat, caught. That's Moody. Moody to the 25, and I think we have a late face mask. It's going to tack on at least 5 and maybe 15. Tavion Jones in there. A little too high.
There is a flag.
See sometimes down with a new quarterback like that and guys aren't used to each other, the timing just looks like it's a little disrupted.
On the defense.
Sam Houston.
Yeah, you can see it right at the end of the play. Jones just went a little bit high and pulled it back, and so that's the automatic first down.
Yeah, about 5 yards up the field, though. Looked like Highlands got away with a block in the back.
I formation for the Owls. And with Boston out, but turn and just dive the fullback. Actually, they faked to the fullback and handed the second man through.
I don't know that they got anything accomplished on that play other than
I don't think
they were lucky to get back on the football.
A double fake and a fall down.
I mean, you're seeing some of the growing pains when you have a different signal caller back there. It can be a little tough at times.
Inside the Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone, Sam Houston going to try to hold, and Highlands are going to try to get on the board for the first time tonight on 2nd down and about 12. Call it 13, ball's loose. Salome running for his life, forced out of bounds. Another loss on the play, and multiple whistles right at the sideline.
Yeah, it's just been one of those nights, you know, you have a great drive, your first drive since really the initial drive of the ball game, and then back-to-back times the ball's actually on the ground and you keep going backwards instead of going forwards.
We've got another penalty. Declined. And so they'll keep it right there. Although the down markers, nobody's quite sure what's going on. 3rd and 21 is where we'll mark it. Salome back to pass, pressured, escapes, running for his life again, and is thrown down. That time, Darius Davis, the 3-year starter linebacker, was able to take him down for a loss of 17 yards. It's going to be 4th and 38.
And the pressure just coming from everywhere. There's a flag on the play, but you know, Salome doing everything he could right there. I mean, almost got away from that, but
sportsmanlike.
Apologize for the trouble we're having with Lonnie's mic tonight. Unsportsmanlike was the call against Highlands. That will be marked off, and so they have gone from the 17-yard line all the way back to their own 46.
And a real Strong tip of the cap to all those DBs on Sam Houston. There was nobody open downfield on that last play.
37 yards backwards on this drive as pressure comes, and the punt is going to be muffed at the 10 and falling on it. Back there is Daryl Bledsoe, and so that's where Sam Houston will set up shop, up 34-0 at Alamo Stadium. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Sam Houston leads Highlands 34-0. If you missed it earlier, the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge, powered by CPS Energy, is the new element to this season's broadcasts. 8 local high school cheer squads win the opportunity to cheer at the highest level at the U.S. Army All-American Bowl or the San Antonio Sports Foundation's San Antonio All-Star Game, presented by HEB. Cheer squads will earn points and votes cast by their fans online. So visit sanantoniosports.org/cheer and cast your vote now. Dwayne Brown on the carry on first down, picked up about 5. Octaviano Camacho with the tackle. You see Gary Green continuing to teach and coach. Second down and 5 for the Hurricanes. Monte Prime rolling and throwing, and just threw it behind Dwayne Brown. Set up 3rd and 5 for Sam Houston. And since he's over on this side, it might well take the play straight from the coach. Gary Green feeling good about his squad. Looks like they're going to be going to 5-2 on the year and undefeated 5-0 in district play.
And again, those have come all in succession. And they've cracked our top 10. They're at number 10 in our TNL, our latest poll. Hot as anybody in town right now.
And really putting up huge numbers offensively. Had a man in a neutral zone, free play, and almost picking it off for Highlands, and maybe hurt a little bit. Is Chris Hernandez. And I think we're going to just pull the plug on Lonnie for the night. Sorry, Lonnie, we tried. It'll be sign language from here on out from our head official, Lonnie Cooper.
Just another bad play by Highlands, you know. Got Sam Houston backed up at your own end, doing a pretty good job of holding down and jump off sides.
Handoff. Back to the line of scrimmage, and Prime signaling to his coaching staff as a no gain on that play. Doing a good job up front for Highlands was Abraham Segundo. And so a 3rd and 5 deep in their own territory for the Hurricanes of Sam Houston.
Still got some guys getting after it, though. Down on the outside, you had Trayvon Vaughns and Demurray Richardson from Highlands getting after it down corner and wide receiver.
In fact, it's gotten a little chippy here in the 3rd quarter. Prime sets up the screen, has a man, has space, and then it's fumbled and recovered by Highlands. Armando Ferguson coming up with it as Devin Harris just saw it fall out of his hands. Got all the moves in the world, got 3 touchdowns on the night, but it just came straight out with no contact.
Somebody get a hand on this? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
On the outside, was that number 1?
I take it back. I think it was 17. May have been Bruce Moody who popped it out there. But that was a good play.
It was, and I mean, that's the thing we talked about pretty much all night. I mean, Highlands' defense has pretty much showed up tonight. They've just been playing on a short field most of the night.
Let's see if the Owls can cash in. But right there, eating it all up. Big number 40, best player on the field, quite frankly, Shea Williams.
Yeah, it is open season right now up there on the front line for Sam Houston. My goodness, those guys are living on the other end of the football here.
Gary Green called him a monster at halftime. Probably has a half dozen or so tackles. 6'2", 225, junior. Highly sought after already. Got blocked on that play, thrown up for grabs and incomplete, and almost intercepted by a Hurricane as Marquise Keno was there, and then Keno's down on the field.
Joseph Jackson doing a nice job right there for Highlands to try to make sure that, okay, you're not going to be able to get to this ball, but at least the defender doesn't end up with it on the other end.
2:44 to play here in the third quarter. A big down for the Highlands Owls, who trail 34-0 and want to get something going offensively. They've got 3rd and 14 in what is their best opportunity of the night to score inside our Six Flags Fiesta red zone, or right at it. Ball comes loose, and that ball's going to be recovered, and Shea Williams is going to go to the house. He's dominated the football game, and the junior defensive end takes it 62 yards, and the Sam Houston Hurricanes have hung 40 on the board for the 3rd week in a row.
Ball security has been an issue all night long, particularly in this half, Don, and you put the ball on the ground long enough, something bad's really going to happen, and it just did right there. Big number 40 coming right in your living room. That'd be the easiest one he gets all year.
We talked about Javonte McGee. You may remember him from a few years ago. He was so athletic. He weighed about 300 pounds, defensive tackle, but they also played him at tight end, and they would throw him the football, and he would run like that at 300.
Freight train.
Sam Houston's up 41-0. Late third quarter here at Alamo Stadium on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Alamo Stadium, the Rock Pile. They spent millions of dollars renovating it, and it looks gorgeous, and it's all gorgeous for the Sam Houston Hurricanes, up 41-0 on top of Highlands tonight. 2:27 to go here on the CW35. Sam Houston started the season 0-2, but they have now run off 5 straight. As you look at Shea Williams, his coach thinks he's going to be a very special player. Gonna be. He's been a special player tonight.
Yeah, and you talked about the record and what Sam Houston's been able to do here, Don, over the last month or so. And, you know, coming off a 2-8 season where they still made the playoffs, and then to lose your first 2, obviously things are starting to click here at Sam Houston. These guys are going the other direction, probably for good.
Highlands trying to make something out of it. They start off at their own 30, and we'll take time to go down to the sidelines with David Chancellor. Chance?
Yeah, you guys are talking about, I heard you in the break talking about possible MVPs. I don't know, but this is my MVP of tonight's performance, and that is Charles Cotlin. He is the head band drum major, I want to make sure I get that right, of that fantastic band and that performance we saw at halftime. Charles, first off, congratulations. Second off, how long does it take for you guys to come up with a routine like that, practice it, and then get it for game ready?
It takes a long time, because first we have to find appropriate music. Then after that, we have to make the dance routine according to the band. I can't just do it based off of what I dance. So I have to consider the fact that they're dancing and they're playing also. So if I make a move and it's too difficult, I have to go back and make another one again. And then introducing it to them is just...
And I noticed while you guys were performing, the loudest ovations of the night haven't been when Sam Houston scored touchdowns. It was when you guys were on the field. What's it like to be part of, you guys are rock stars there on campus. What's that like?
It's a great experience. Everybody loves us. We represent Sam Houston at its best. In the band, we promote grades A, B's all the time. Best behavior. People usually don't tuck their shirts in anymore. We promote that also. That's the school policy. That's part of our uniform, so we're definitely going to do that. We don't skip school. We don't believe in that. Just because we're ahead, we're at the top of Sam Houston, we don't act above or beyond anybody. So we make sure to stay humble and to also this can be taken away from us. So we have to understand that also. This is a privilege to be in this band, and it's hard. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication.
I love that line. It is a privilege to play for the Sam Houston Hurricane Marching Band. Charles Cotlin wants to go to Florida A&M on a scholarship. I got to believe that this guy's going to be in Florida in a couple of years, so congratulations. Let's go back up to the booth to you guys.
Hold on, Dave. Hold on, Dave.
Yeah.
We're in a 41-0 ball game.
Okay.
I think the most entertaining thing we could see at this point is if Charles could teach you how to twerk like he did at halftime.
All right, Charles. So my good friends in the booth want to know if you can teach me some of the moves.
The twerk.
One move. I think, hey man, I think that's we're treading on thin ice here on a number of ways. Eric, if you can come in here. Eric's gonna hold the mic.
Okay.
Don, by the way, paybacks.
Okay.
All right. By the way, you're talking to a guy who has absolutely no rhythm, no way to dance at all. No, not 2 left feet, 4 left feet. All right, so here we go.
We're gonna do something that's called the
very
Charleston.
simple.
Charleston, just rock left. Right. You rock left, right first, and then you feel it. You feel it.
I don't. I don't. Hold on.
No, we need to bail. We need to bail for the Chancellor's.
All right, this is Charles Cotlin. This is the real magician. This is the real talent here. Back up to you guys. I can snap. I can somewhat sing. Let's get out of here. This is just absolute. It has gone off the rails.
Yeah,
back up to
Dave.
you guys.
Dave did a lot better than we could have done. I can tell you that.
Rhythm, not strong suit there. Highlands is moving the football. The end of the quarter is going to save us. Stayed in bounds, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. The Charleston, we're old enough to know that, right, Chuck?
All of a sudden, it's back. You see that going on everywhere.
Shea Williams, tired, and he should be. He's dominated this football game, and Sam Houston leads Highlands 41-0. We're back with the fourth quarter after this. Sam Houston leads Highlands 41-0 as we start the fourth quarter here at Alamo Stadium. Time for our JR's Plumbing highlights. The third quarter, well, is more of the same, and that's Shea Williams, and the defense dominating this football game. And Shea Williams showing at 225 pounds, he can motor. He's had 6 or 7 tackles, a couple of big hits, pressuring the quarterback, and then a 62-yard touchdown run there. And I believe he had a hand in that one as well.
Of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
65 in there right now for him, and that's Matthew Pitts. And we've got DeMaurier Richardson Jackson, who has moved to quarterback.
He's got some speed.
Yeah, DeMaurier, 90 yards on the ground this year. He's a receiver. He's a running back. Has not played quarterback yet. But he's going with it now. I'd like to thank our friends over at Monarch Trophy. They've provided the trophies both for the player of the game and for the team since the inception of Thursday Night Lights. Go see the good folks at Monarch Trophy Studio, the awards leader since 1972. Bert Lopez trying to figure out what's going on as a flag is down.
And here we are, another situation, second drive in a row where they're going the wrong way.
I don't know that I've ever seen a drive go minus 37. And so that was disheartening because they were knocking on the door really right about the 17. But they've got DeMaurier Richardson in calling the signals now. He throws it to the near side, and that one's almost intercepted as Darrell Bledsoe broke it up. Time for our defensive play of the game. Chuck, any drama?
I don't think so. We've already seen it 10 times. Why not again?
It's going to be one of these, and it's actually not Shea Williams. It's a surprise to us. It's Jawan Anderson, the first pick of the game. Might as well set the tone for what's turned out to be a 41-0.
No, you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly what it did. And then we got another one going to the house.
Dwayne Brown is going deep. 63 yards on first down. And just like that, it's 47-0 Sam Houston.
I had a little hand injury the last time he touched the ball. There's nothing wrong with this play right here. Wide open down the sideline. Optimus making a nice throw, and Barry Sanders Jr. doing the rest.
Just a little bit of a bust coverage there for Highlands, and speed kills. And that's junior to junior again. And all of the guys that we've called the most tonight from Sam Houston are juniors or underclassmen. A couple sophomores in there. Jawan Anderson, who's number 14, that was the defensive player of the game, is only a sophomore. 48-0 Sam Houston. We'll take the break. 10 minutes and 38 seconds left on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Thursday Night Lights. Sam Houston now 48-0 over Highlands. Time for our ASCO collision of the game. And Shea Williams has been all over the football all night long. You could pick from a number of collisions from Shea Williams. The guys in the truck picked that one right there. In before the ball was even handed off. And that is our ASCO collision of the game from Shea Williams.
I don't even know how you do that.
I mean, the guy turned to hand it off, and he was there already.
Imagine what he's going to be able to put on tape from this game for college recruiters.
That ball goes, that's going to be a touchback, as Bruce Moody couldn't handle it at the end zone. So Highlands will get another opportunity, taking over at their own 20.
Don, you talked about it earlier. You know, he showed us on the last series when we had our defensive play of the game. I mean, here you have a game, you're starting fresh if you're Highlands, you're moving the football, and then you turn the ball over like that, and you're right, it set the tone for the rest of the game. And this has just been kind of the year that they've had. You know, they had a lead against Edison, and they lose in the closing seconds on a pass interference play in the end zone, and lost another game to Lanier in the closing seconds after they had a big lead. I mean, for whatever reason, they just have not been able to put it together for 4 quarters, and that was one of the keys that they were going to try to be able to do tonight, was concentrate and try to close, and it just has not gone their way tonight again.
And we've got another injury on the field. And the entire coaching staff is running out on the field. Check on the young man from Highlands. Didn't see what happened on the play, but obviously a lot of concern there. And I believe it's Jordan Strambler, number 70, big offensive line, and thank goodness he's sitting up. The way the coaches ran out there, thought it was something incredibly serious, but it looks like he's at least alert, talking, and he's had his helmet off.
Yeah, Coach Lopez, that was one of the young men that he pointed out to me this week when he was talking about some of his players. I mean, he's a left tackle. He's played here for 3 years, been a 3-year starter, and just one of those guys that the program really leans on to be the leader.
All right, we'll take a break as they find out what happened to Jordan. 10:18 to go, 48-0 Sam Houston when we come back. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Jordan Strambler, the offensive lineman, senior for Highlands, down on the field and was able to be helped off. But you can see number 7 on your left of your screen just went down in a heap, holding his right knee way away from the action and couldn't really tell what happened. And then they fell on top of him after it. But he's walking off on his own power, and I don't know. Can't really see either. It was right off the ball in the line of scrimmage. It's almost like he passed out. He just went straight forward and fell down. And they're going to end up carting him away with paramedics over there on the left side. No, he turned down the golf cart and he's going to walk off as DeMaurier Richardson Jackson lowers his head and is brought down to 33. Strange play.
Yeah, we'll hope for the best there, obviously, too. I mean, don't want to speculate because, I mean, you know, you've seen guys that have even hurt their knees that, you know, you can walk off if you tear an ACL sometimes. You don't ever know. And
it was confusing
so many of these that are non-contact injuries anyway.
We thought it was his knee, and then he's holding his left elbow, and then there was another shot where it looked like he just, off the snap, just fell flat on his face forward. Inside handoff, going nowhere. And I think at this point, the clock running for Bert Lopez is a good thing, and you know it's a good thing for Gary Green's squad as Angel Rodriguez makes the tackle.
Yeah, because now obviously you're reaching a point in the game where obviously the score isn't in doubt, and you want to live to fight another day. And I mean, we've seen so many times, Don, you go through the course of a high school football season, and a lot of this is about attrition. You know, if you're able to stay healthy and keep your main guys upright, go on and have a good season. But it's usually the teams that get banged up, they get hurt, you start losing a bunch of guys, and obviously it really wreaks havoc with what you're trying to do win-loss wise.
And Gary Green has called the dogs off in many regards. He's got a lot of second teamers out there. Shea Williams is out of the ball game, as is some of his other starters. 8:37 and ticking, 48-0 our score. Zernick Woods there on the tackle. And we've had some great shots from the camera crew as always tonight, including that 43-foot scissor lift, thanks to Contractors Building Supply. They provide that scissor lift that we use. They've been with us from year one on TNL. Give them a call at 210-496-1227. Contractors Building Supply. Great angle right there from the high end zone camera. Sam Houston snuffs out another run attempt on second down and long.
Don, how about the new digs here for the SAISD?
Oh,
I mean,
sweet.
I loved coming to the old place. I loved the rock pile, even when it was run down in the old Dowager. Maybe one of the few people, because it just felt like a high school football game, but they did not miss a beat rebuilding this place. I mean, my goodness. I mean, nobody likes to pay taxes. I know I don't. But if you're going to vote for a bond like these people did here in this school district, I mean, boy, they got this thing right. I mean, what an unbelievable specimen they've got here in the new Alamo Stadium.
Our Mark Lieberman was the best guy in town at documenting the transformation with his pictures on his blog, and we're seeing some of them right now. They came in here and they ripped this place up from the inside out, started all over, took over a year. We didn't play football here last year. Built a new press box that we're in right there. Planted some palm trees to dress it up, and you can see the final product. It's gorgeous. That new press box and that new turf, and thank goodness the citizens of San Antonio spoke up after some tried to rebuild the stadium without a track after the voters had voted for the renovation with a track. Nice big time play for Highlands, their first of the night. That's Denny Peterson with a huge gain. That's an Affiliated Mortgage first down. You know, there was so much controversy when they're talking about soccer here. Voters voted for a certain bond, and then all of a sudden they were telling everybody that it wasn't going to have a track. And the citizens spoke up against the board at SAISD and got their track, and they want to see track run here, and it's a great multi-purpose facility for soccer, for football, for track, and for the kids of the SAISD.
Nice run.
Very nice run. That's DeMaurier Richardson up near the first down marker at the 20 as James Citizen still in there making the tackle.
But I think that's kind of the cool thing about what's happened here, because you know, like nationally, I think everybody's complaining about, well, we're paying too many taxes, we're doing all this other stuff, and you don't know where your money's going. When you see something like this, I mean, if you're going to pay taxes, you want to see something good come out of it, and boy, this really is a splendid place to watch a football game.
Wow, that was great penetration by the Sam Houston defense. Coming up from his corner spot was Darius Davis. Call him an outside linebacker. He had that one played from the outside all the way.
But to now be able to dress here, I mean, Don, you and I took a tour of the facilities before they even opened. I mean,
yeah.
Splendid. Just everything about this place is state of the art.
The video board is the second largest in the state. The only one bigger is that one in Allen, and they're not playing football there because of the concrete issues that they had. So Daktronics video board, I think that thing's $1 million in itself. And just, you can see it right there. They can put replays up there, their player profiles, just gorgeous. As we told you, you can help a local school take home that $2,500 band grant. It's all based on votes. You saw both bands tonight. If you want to vote for the Owls, text band 11 to 45203. If you want to vote for the Hurricane Band, that's band 12 to 45203. I'd like to thank Vulcan Materials Company. They're going to make some band in San Antonio very, very happy with that $2,500 band grant that the school can use on uniforms, transportation, instruments, and other things. So our thanks to the Vulcan Materials Company.
We had a player dinged at the end of the last play, Angel Rodriguez, and glad to say that he walked off the field under his own power.
And you see that Sam Houston band at it again. They have fun on the UIW Smile Cam. They got us smiling. I don't know if that's PG or R rated right there. DeMaurier Richardson's got speed. Watch out. Makes a move to the 20. Gets inside the 15. And I tell you what, Chuck, you got to like the fight of Bert Lopez's team. Got no shot to win this football game with only 4 minutes to go, and they're putting together their best drive of the night.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to really like the way that DeMaurier Richardson is finishing off runs. I mean, that was not an easy play. He had pressure coming from both sides, but you know, he probably hasn't had a lot of experience at the quarterback position, but he stepped up and avoided the pressure and then really finished off his run well.
3rd down and 5. The Owls wanting to keep the drive alive. The delay on the snap. Richardson now scrambling. He's brought back at the 30 as that one just kind of collapsed on him.
I'll say 6 guys done playing 5 yards up the field or more on that particular play.
They're so quick off the ball that the Highlands offensive line has just not been able to handle them tonight.
No, they haven't been lately, that's for sure. I mean, first drive of the game, everything looked sound and clean up front, but not much has gone right trying to protect their quarterback from after that first drive.
So 4th and down, you got nothing to lose. 4th and 20. And they'll give it one last shot to see if they can get a first down or a touchdown. Throw over the middle, got a man tipped. And it was almost caught by Denny Peterson, but instead the Hurricanes will take over as Jawan Anderson was there to knock it away. Sam Houston will take over and we'll wrap it up. 3 minutes to go in the ballgame on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's 48-0 Highlands. Highlands trailing Sam Houston. All Hurricanes here. 2 minutes and 52 seconds to go. And I'm sure the Hurricanes will be content to just run the clock out as they've got a new quarterback in. And keeping it and getting outside and going quite a ways is Dwayne Brown. Going to get him some time at the QB spot. The CPS Energy Cheer Challenge rankings are out. We told you about this earlier. John Jay, Memorial, East Central, Reagan, Brack, Taft, St. Mary's Hall, and O'Connor in the top 8 right now. 8 teams get to go to the U.S. Army All-American Bowl and the San Antonio Sports Game All-Star Game presented by HEB on January the 3rd. So we hope to see you there. We've televised both of those games on both NBC, News 4 San Antonio, and the CW35. And vote for one of your favorite cheer squads, and they can go there as well. It's Affiliated Mortgage first down for Dwayne Brown. Get him some reps in case they ever have to have Prime out of the ball game or an injury. And the electric running back and wide receiver showed on the last play he could play a little QB as well, comfortable in that spot.
Like a water bug. You ever seen a water bug in a pool moving?
Quick.
Very.
I mean,
better not blink because this kid eats up yards in a hurry.
I'm so impressed with the lateral speed of Harris, Brown, Prime.
And the big boys up front doing the job as well. I mean, they've been pretty strong on both sides of the ball up front.
Shea Williams just coming off the ball so quick as well. 1:45 to go. Sam Houston calls timeout. Dwayne Brown didn't like what he sees. And that gives us time to tell you our banner play of the game. Dixie flag banner play of the game, and Shea Williams scooping up that fumble and rumbling 62 yards, and that's a big man running real fast. Running as fast as the little guys.
Yeah, it's amazing with as many times as Highlands put the ball on the ground this year, tonight I should say, that was the only defensive touchdown. But it has been a struggle.
First down and 15 to go for the Sam Houston Hurricanes. Kids having a good time out here tonight at Alamo Stadium, and Brown's going to keep and probably be content with that right there as the clock continues to roll. Under 2 minutes. Malik Thomas on the tackle. Gary Green got to be very content with his squad tonight. Going to go to 5-0 in district play. Beat McCollum 34-0. Scored 55 against Jefferson. And then 40-25 victory over Brackenridge last week. So this will be their 3rd straight dominant district win. Or 4th straight, really, because they shut out McCollum the week before that, 34-0.
Yeah, kind of like a snowball rolling downhill right now, Don. I mean, they're just seemingly getting better each and every week. And with the victories and with the yardage and with everything else that's going on positive, the confidence is going to grow as well. And you can see that, too.
First couple of weeks of the season, they scored 15 and 14. Since then, they've gone 34, 55, 40, and 48 tonight. I'll snap it one more time and call it a night, a 48-0 shutout over their district rival, the Highlands Owls. Bert Lopez's Owls will fall to 0-6 on the season. And Sam Houston will try to continue to run the table. The team that was picked to finish last in this district is 5-0. Gary Green and the Hurricanes beat Bert Lopez and the Owls by a final score of 48-0 here on Thursday Night Lights. Teams will shake hands. We'll throw to break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Gary Green, and we'll announce our player of the game on Thursday Night Lights.
Welcome to the Church's Chicken Postgame Report, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
48-0 our final here at Alamo Stadium. Gary Green and his Hurricanes poised to accept the Monarch trophies. Let's run down the highlights before we get down to Coach Green. And our highlights brought to you by JR's Plumbing. It was all Sam Houston all night long. Big touchdown right up the middle by James Citizen, the fullback linebacker, and they were on their way. Big night for Devin Harris. Had a couple of touchdowns, had 3 actually, 1 receiving, 2 rushing. Here's another 11-yard juke. 28-0 Sam Houston at that point. And the Hurricanes just poured it on. Devin Harris, more Devin Harris. We call him Frisco. And then was prime time tonight, throwing the ball, running the ball. Defense dominated as well. Shea Williams was one of the best players we've seen all year long, and we'll get to see him again next year. Let's head down to the field. David Chancellor to present our player of the game to, I think I know who, and with their coach, Gary Green. David?
Guys, Don, I got to tell you, this is classic. I just asked Devin Harris. I said, hey, Devin, do you have a nickname? Devin, tell him what you told me.
My name is Frisco.
They watch Sports Sunday, they know. All right. Hey, you guys are bad. You guys are some bad dudes. Congratulations. Where's Shea Williams? Come on up here, sir. Player of the game. Hey, I want to ask you, congratulations. Let's bring in the trophy here. I'll hand this off to you. How bad did you guys want that shutout tonight?
Man, we wanted the shutout bad. We practiced all week for this. Just came out here to play. Keep our number 1 spot in the district.
You guys were awesome tonight. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll bring in the coach. Woo, I tell you what, 5 straight wins, not bad for a team that was picked to finish dead last in the district.
Yeah, I tell you what, boy, and when nobody believes in you and you accomplish things, it's the sky. And right now we're touching the sky, but we're not finished because we got 3 more games to go.
I know next year is next year and right now is now, but last year you played a bunch of sophomores and now you got a bunch of juniors who look like they're about 22 years old at sometimes. How big is this for this program? What's going on these last, this 3-year period here where the growth and then what you'll see in the coming years?
Well, I tell you, the growth was something else. They were going to close Sam Houston, and we lost our kids. Well, the kids are coming back when they decided not to, and right now, all these sophomores last year got christened by fire, and it's helping us this year. They've grown up. We got a strong junior class, a good senior class, and we can only get better.
I'll give you the trophy, Coach. Congratulations. Congratulations, Sam Houston, winner. Get in there. Let's check it out. Guys, we'll go back up to you in the booth.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dave. Chuck, that's just great to see. A team that went 2-8 a year ago and gaining all this confidence, and you can see them. You know how thrilled they are to be on TV and to do what they did tonight. I'm rooting for them the rest of the way.
Well, when you look at the final stats, Don, and we obviously, I think for the first time all year, gave our player of the game to a defensive player, but can't say enough about the job and the way this offense is run with Optimus Prime. 12 of 18 throwing it, 182 yards throwing it, 3 touchdowns, actually 162. Sorry, my old eyes get in the way here, but, managed the game, took what was given in front of them, did a good job protecting the ball for the most part, and this was a pretty convincing win on both sides of the ball.
Between Frisco and Optimus, we're handing out nicknames left and right with these Sam Houston Hurricanes.
When you were born with the last name of Prime, that pretty much goes with just about anything, and you play the way that kid does too.
All right, so here's what we got coming up on Thursday Night Lights. We're right back here in the same spot. Next week, we got McCullum and Brack here at Alamo Stadium. Then as the district's season and schedules really ramp up, we're going to go over to Northside and do Marshall and Holmes, and also Warren and Taft. We got games after that as well, but that's the next 3 weeks right here on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. All right, Chuck, Sam Houston lived up to the billing. We knew they were on a roll, and they continued to do that, hanging up 48 points. Couldn't happen to a better guy in Gary Green. And you could tell by the way Bert Lopez's guys competed. This is a team that's going to finish the season giving it their all.
There's no question. And again, I think it was kind of cool we got to see Sam Houston tonight because we see the highlights every Friday night. We're reading the press clippings. It was kind of cool to see what these guys have. And again, they're so young and there's so many underclassmen playing for this program. We know they're going to be good this year. You just wonder what the future holds for this program maybe in the year or two to come.
Yeah, keep an eye and remember the names like Devin Harris and Dwayne Brown and Ramonte Prime, and of course, our player of the game tonight, Shea Williams. Those 4 stars, all juniors, all coming back. And who knows, they may make a deep playoff run this year with as much talent as they have. And they're very well coached. Gary Green's got a lot of discipline in that program. And very proud, I'm sure, of the effort tonight, winning 48-0. That's going to wrap it up for us on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. For David Chancellor down on the field, for Chuck Mikatinik, Mark Lieberman in the booth as well as the statistician and as the official historian of Alamo Stadium. We appreciate that, Mark. For the cast of thousands who helped put on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights, the entire crew, we'll see you next time on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.